I think right now it looks like just a soft tissue, and I don't want to say just, but a soft tissue issue. So from a long-term prognosis, that's great. I don't think there's anything majorly wrong structurally. Until he's pain-free and has full range of motion, though, he will not play. I can't tell you when that's going to be, but it's not tonight.
Jeff, Philip Sedina had some very famous comments at the draft last year about filling the net with pucks. Did you give any consideration to maybe sitting him out tonight? I mean, and you have 2 home games then left, but what are your thoughts there?
No, I'm actually hoping he fills the net.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I think that's more of a long-term thing than a singular game. I know he played against him once already, but I think it's more of a long-term thing that, I think he was just stating in an 18-year-old, not English, not your first language way of saying, I'm going to be a really good player and I'm going to do everything I can to make people that didn't pick me pay. And I hope he does that. But I think that's way more of a long-term approach than anything else. Philip Sedina's got lots of maturity to him. He can handle this situation. I think it's a great test for him. I think playing on the road's a great test in a building like this for a young guy to keep making the progress that we want him to make. So, a year from now or whenever that time is, he's ready to do the things he talked about.
Is that what you like about him too? I mean, he seems like he has the mental strength to, even if fans cheer him tonight or whatever, that he would just brush it off. I mean, some guys it might weigh on, but he doesn't seem like he's that type of personality.
Well, hopefully he learns that quick lesson that you better stay off social media when you're in the NHL, whether you're player, coach, or manager. That's number one. Two, what I think mental toughness and inner drive are the 2 biggest factors in individual success in anything in life, and certainly in the NHL. And so I think he's showing signs of that inner drive, and I think he's showing signs of that mental toughness. Those will be critical for him.
Along those lines, you challenge these guys to step up from the trade deadline to this point. What are your thoughts have been on what you've seen in that department?
What I'm worried about is a game tonight against Montreal and trying to do everything we can to win a hockey game here. And I think we've said it from the beginning of the year. We're gonna learn from the day before, and then we're gonna move on, and that's what we're continuing to do. We're learning, and we're trying to get better as a group and better individually, and then moving forward to this game here tonight. So we're gonna have to compete like crazy tonight. Guys are gonna have to, as I said, I think the other night, we need everybody playing as close to their A game as possible. We can't afford to have guys play their B or C game. So we got to make sure we play at that high level, everybody playing at a high level.
Along those lines, when they look back at the recent history against Montreal, how much should they be motivated by what's taken place?
Well, again, a little bit is this is a game now. We've got our butts kicked pretty good by this team. So should we be motivated? Is there extra motivation? I'd be lying if I say, if you're human, there's probably a little extra motivation in a sense that we've certainly got our butts kicked by them a number of times here. So let's go out and make sure we put our best foot forward.
Carey Price is set to break the all-time wins mark over Jacques Plante here. Just looking back at the body of work that he's created in his career, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think he's a hell of a goalie. Has been for a long time. I as a former bad goalie, I admire the way that he plays a position. I think he keeps it. He's efficient in his movement. Pucks stick to him. He makes big saves at big moments, but he plays that efficient style that allows him to have a real high save percentage year in and year out. So he's one of the best in the time certainly I've seen, and I think he'll go down as that when it's all said and done.
I saw a stat the other day that Danny DeKeyser's getting like 40% of his shifts against other teams' top lines. What has he done this year to earn that trust from you in those situations?
Well, the first thing I'd say is I'm surprised it's not higher, so I'd like to see the stat and see what it measures. Is it just measuring starts? Is it measuring time on ice versus that? So that's where I think it's important to dig deep into all these stats that are out there, because sometimes they're not totally accurate on the surface. But to the point of the question, I think Danny's an excellent defender. I've thought that for a long time. I think Danny's had an excellent year. In reality, Danny's paid to go out and defend against the other team's best, and he does a hell of a job of it. I think he's as good from the red line in as anybody, as most people in the league. I think he does a heck of a job that way breaking the puck out. I think he does a heck of a job defending, and the position is still called defenseman, and I think sometimes we get wrapped up with the idea of points, and certainly you want offense from your defenseman, and there's few guys out there that they produce at such a high level offensively that it's a huge factor. But the tweener guys are the ones you lose with. You need guys that are great at what they do, and right now he's been really, really good at handling that load defensively.
Can you confirm that Joe Bernier is in the net tonight?
Yes.
And how can you describe how he works hard during practice?
You know, he's a big time pro. He's worked his tail off all year. He works hard at his game. It's been a hard year for him in a sense of results. I think he's played better hockey than maybe the record or the stats. But you know, he's done a good job, I think, of continuing to fight like crazy to be the very best he can be every night. And I got tons of respect for him as a person, tons of respect for him as a